Hi. Let's talk a little bit about the tariffs that are going to come in effect tomorrow against Mexico, China, and Canada, and what it means for the United States. I can speak from Canada's side, in which we have tariffs in place. We're also discussing cutting off everything to the United States. Donald Trump said, you guys don't need anything from Canada, right? But he's doing handsprings to get the lithium from Ukraine, to the point of threatening a country who's already being threatened by Russia. Well, you guys get lithium from Canada as well. So that means 25% tariffs, cost of your lithium is going to go up. And you use that for a lot of things to do with batteries and, electric cars and things like that. But I think the one that is probably going to suffer the most immediately will be the farmers. And I know some farmers down there. I also subscribe to some of the farmers down there, like Wagon. And I appreciate them. And I don't want to see them hurt. But we all agree that this is due to really, really bad leadership and a lack of understanding how tariffs work. Given the show in the White House Oval Office on Thursday with President Volodymyr Zelensky, I think that Americans need to wake up. I think not all, but your minority. The majority being those that voted for your leadership and those that abstained from voting at all, either due to misogyny or racism or whatever the hell. But that woman had more experience than Trump will ever have. You cannot run a country like it's a business. It is not a business. A country has other intricacies, diplomacy, and things you have to do in order to keep your country safe, to keep your country working, to keep your country strong. I'm not a fan of Ronald Reagan, but I'll tell you one thing. He is rolling and turning over in his grave. Because if anybody that he would have blacklisted back in the day, it would have been Trump. And the American public would have turned their backs on him. I am very conflicted because while I am an American, I am also half Canadian. My biological sperm donor came from Canadian stock. I am a dual citizen, and I am living in Canada. I still vote in American elections. Canada has been perceived weak. It's a stereotype because they are civil in their greetings, they are friendly, they are outgoing. Anybody can be. I can be. I'm sure you can be, until you step on toes. Then you get a nice stern warning. Beyond that, you deserve everything you get. And America has been stepping on the toes of Canadians since this orange shit stain got into the office. With that said, we've had enough. Americans and Canadians alike. And I do applaud the Americans who are non-MAGA. Those of you who didn't vote at all in the 2024 election, you're just as bad. You're just as bad. You didn't care enough about your country to vote. You didn't want to have a say. That's my opinion. If I'm wrong, please put it in the comment section. And please like and subscribe. To you MAGA who come in there and try to rile things up, I appreciate you too. You raise my algorithm. It's heartwarming. Like Angry Eric and his newest cohort that just got in there. I'm guessing it's probably Angry Eric, just under a different name, but who knows? I could be wrong. I can admit that. I'm not narcissistic. The tariffs are going to hurt, I believe, America more than it's going to hurt Canada at this point, because Canada has already made deals for those 400 million barrels of oil that the U.S. is supposed to be getting and gets daily from Canada. Because your crude oil, your systems and your stuff can't handle it. And if you built the stuff that's needed to handle your crude oil, it would take a long time. A long time. You don't have the infrastructure to support it, but you have the infrastructure to support Canadian crude. So expect that your oil and gas and all of that are probably going to climb. And I'm certainly not an economic expert. I defer to them who say the U.S. is headed for a recession and possibly a depression. So those of you who are not MAGA, you know what you need to do as far as stocking up, taking care of your family so nobody's hungry, at least. To the farmers, so many of you voted against your own interests. You voted for the tariffs. Elon was introduced at the end of it. But you all already made up your mind. You vote party, not policy. Because Donald didn't have any policies. He told you what he wanted to do, but he didn't tell you how he was going to do it. And it's clear none of you listened to what was being said by the opposition, being Kamala Harris. The EU has said they're going to stand with Ukraine. I believe that the UK said boots on the ground and planes in the air. We know the UK can fly pretty damn low. Let's be very clear, though, in that situation and with the tariffs and with the very lacking leadership and failure of your GOP congressmen and senators to rein in this bully of epic proportions. And Vance, who was taken pretty much a back seat until last Thursday, where he made a complete arse out of himself. World War III will be kicking off, in my opinion, because of your leadership, U.S. And from the way I am hearing the anger from a lot of MAGA who do regret their votes, who are angry that they didn't vote for any of this. They voted for prices to come down. Right? Prices are going up. They just wanted an immediate solution. They didn't listen to Kamala. A president can't bring down the prices, but they can certainly get them to raise up. And once they're raised up, they're very difficult to get down, just like Donnie said. So you want to listen to him when he's saying only the things that matter to you in your perception. but you're not actually hearing what he's saying. And we tried to tell you. Yeah, Canada will probably hurt from some of this, but we've already gotten into the habit of taking off all American products. We're not buying them anymore. And I'm fine with the empty shelves. And so are most of my neighbors. Wow. I really feel bad. I feel bad for all of us, but I really feel bad for the non-MAGA. We stand with you as well. Canada stands with you as well. But American soil is about to get a tasteful of what it had been so proud of for over 100 years. But perhaps that needs to happen so people can understand where Zelensky is, where his people are. America has no allies anymore. You're on your own. You're on your own. And that's a scary bit. Like and subscribe. Please comment. I'd like to hear your position on it. Keep it nice.